Hey you! Welcome in this video, and here we're going to see how to play the Black Dimmer Gambit with the white pieces. We're creating a chess scores 10 aggressive openings with fantastic player, international master Asaf Givon and a friend of mine. And here I consider I just play these opening moves and just start playing with this move e4, and we didn't have anything against the Scandinavian defense with the white pieces. So I created this video in order to show you this very aggressive system. Without further ado, let's dive in. Alright, what is this Black Dimmer Gambit? After the move e4 and our opponent plays this move d5, we can play d4, sacrificing a pawn. So he's going to capture this one, so we can develop our knight. We're threatening to capture this pawn back, and the most obvious move here for black is to play knight to f6, and here we can play the move f3. The idea is to completely sacrifice the pawn. Of course, you cannot play other moves like this one because we can recapture. We have the perfect center here, as you can see. We can develop the knight there, the bishop there, we can castle, and we have very nice and active position. For that reason, the most players is going to capture this one, and here you have two ideas. I'm going to show you a very tricky one. I'm not recommending this one, but you have to know this. This is the Haloshar Gambit to capture with the queen. And if you would like to win many games fast, then you can try this one. Because after this move, queen takes d4, black is happy. He just captured two pawns, right? He is happy here, and we can develop our bishop on e3, attacking the queen. What is the black's next move? He would like to develop this bishop actually, to put it on g4 after white's long castling, to play something like that. But if he just developed the bishop, then this pawn is going to fall on b7 because our queen is extremely active there. For that reason, the most logical move for black is to play queen to b4, not only protecting this pawn, not only free this bishop to play bishop g5, but in the same time attacking this pawn on b2. And for that reason, white here can think something like that, and black will be extremely happy to play this move instantly, bishop to g4, attacking your queen, threatening the rook, and similar things like that. But already he fell into the trap, and now white is winning. The only thing that white has to do is to find this amazing move, knight to b5. And here what he can do, for example, if he just plays something like that, we can take the pawn. He cannot do a lot of things. We can take there, and if he just take the rook, then we can deliver checkmate. This is one scenario. Another scenario is to capture the queen because she can take it, but here we have a checkmate in one move, and we can deliver the final checkmate with this knight. The rook is cutting off the road for the enemy king, so he cannot go anywhere, and this is a beautiful checkmate. A lot of my colleagues suggest this move, queen takes f3, with a lot of threats, and they suggest that you can follow this recommendation in order to win a lot of games. But actually here, if you play with good players, black is not going to capture on d4 obviously, and he is going to play the move c6. After the move c6, white is losing. So I'm not suggesting you to play this move queen to f3, because after c6 you're going to have a lot of problems. You don't have these jumps and things like this. He's threatening to go there with the bishop, and he's threatening the pawn on d4 really. So you should not play this one, and you have to play knight takes f3, the Black Dimmer Gambit. And let's see now what are black's options. I have a lot of games for you here. This is the first one, and here black has some options. One of them is to develop the bishop on f5. Very logical, right? He's going to develop his bishop, and then he will see. Now we can play bishop d3. This is a very interesting move because after the exchanges we can play something like that with black. White can continue developing, and we have a pawn down, right? But this pawn is the pawn on f2, this pawn on f7. What black can do with this pawn right now? He cannot really promote it in the other side of the board. He cannot do a lot of things, and white has a very nice sweet development. As you can see, we can castle in long side. Our next move is something like this. We can start attacking the king side with h3, g4, g5, things like that, or we can play the rook here on the f file, try to put some pressure there. And it's not so obvious how black should play here. This bishop is a monster. on f4, right? It's really a monster. So black should be extremely careful. Bishop to b3 is a very interesting option, and now we have an alternative, a more popular move, bishop to c4. And after this we can castling, he can develop the pieces, and now we have a very tricky move, and this move is knight to g5. What is this? What you're going to play? Why you're playing the knight there? You're not attacking here, you're not attacking there, right? Why you just play that? What is the most obvious move for black? What are you going to play? He just played knight g5. The most obvious is to just kick this knight away. And if you just play h6, it looks like that he has to go back, right? But you already fell into the trap because he can take on f7, attacking queen and rook. So the king has to take the knight, and what's happening? You can just take this bishop on f5 because this pawn is pinned, this bishop is a monster, and the pawn cannot really recapture there, the king is on f7. So knight to g5, a very nice, a very tricky move, and he has to do something about that. During the game he played this very nice move, knight to b6, tried to eliminate or to block this bishop, so he went back. Now we have f5 because what black would like to do? Black would like here to, again we're threatening actually to do things like that, and after that to take the bishop, right? So for that reason he just played c5 here because he would like to develop his own bishop. And after c5 he is hoping after this he can retake with the bishop, this is a check, he's going to win little time, and after that he's going to castle, everything will be cool and fine. However, after the move c5 he just played this move. Now it's white's turn, and white make this very nice sacrifice, rook takes f5. And after pawn takes, this didn't happen during the game, we can take there, this is a check, and after this we can play queen to f3, we are threatening to capture this with check. It's really painful in the light squares because he cannot control the light squares here. And what to do? If he do something like that in order to try to escape, we have this double threat, we can win his queen. So let's go back. After rook takes, he just played this one, he's going to capture this powerful bishop on b3. White played the rook back, we have some exchanges, we have some developments, knight there, bishop here, e3, try to stabilize his army actually. And after short castling, now we have the second phase, and I'm showing you this game because it's really cool, really amazing. Now it's white's turn. What are you going to play? And here he found an amazing combination. He just captured this one with check, not so difficult, because after this he had foreseen something, and he had foreseen to capture this one with the rook. Now he has to capture there, and now he played another amazing move. And in order to find these amazing moves, you have to calculate accurately. And the best move here is queen to h5. He's threatening to checkmate there, and you're going to say, wait a minute, he can capture there. But after this we have the check, we have another check, and after this we can bring a helper, another piece that can help the queen, and now we're going to checkmate on g7. He cannot do anything in order to prevent this one, so white is winning. For that reason he didn't touch the knight there. After this he didn't touch the knight, and after that he just moved the rook away. And after this check, if you just give this check there, he can start running with his king. This was the idea. And now he just captured on h7, of course, this is an extra pawn, and after that, because he's threatening now, he's threatening to take on f6 to create a double attack. For that reason he played there, and now we have another bombarding move, another fantastic move, bishop h6. What is the threat? Can you recognize the threat? And the threat is to give a check here on g4, and after that create a checkmate on g7. It doesn't matter what black is going to do, capture the knight or not, we're going to checkmate on g7. For that reason he played this move f5 right now, in order to cover this square with the pawn. This is the idea. And if you just play something like that, you can see the checkmate. Or if you just capture the knight instantly, then we have a discover threat, queen bishop to f8, and after this we can take the queen, and you can win with extra queen, right? So let's go back, and here after this move he just played f5, try to stop this one, and now we have a little regrouping of the pieces, bishop to g5 attacking the queen, and after this we have that, he played this one, knight to g5, and here he is threatening to checkmate, so black cannot do anything at all. At this point I'd like to talk about the chess opening package, which contains Scandinavian Defense, Grand Prix Attack and Benko Gambit. If you click in any of those links, you can see the detailed curriculum of the lessons. Each course contained theoretical videos and analyzed games. In total, we have 46 theoretical videos, which are more than 11 hours, and approximately 200 analyzed games. Only 1 hour of a professional trainer cost approximately 20 euros, and you can see here the outstanding final price of this package. If you're interested and you'd like to own this package, then you can click the link in the description of that video. Let's move with a lot of passion, and here we are going to see something else. Instead of bishop to f5, here black just played g6. It's another option. Of course, you have to develop your pieces, and after that castling, and I have a course on Grand Prix attack on the openings. I hope you study this one. And I have a free article actually, you can study this Grand Prix article. And the key maneuver in Grand Prix attack is to play queen to e1, after that you can play queen h4, after this you can put your bishop on h6, try to exchange these bishops, you can imagine the queen on g4 now, after that you can play the knight there, you can sacrifice the rook and checkmate on h7, simple as that, you can do this one, it's extremely simple. So this is why White here played the move queen e1. He's trying to build a very strong attack against the enemy king side, and it's helping. It's very helpful for us that we just give this f2 pawn so the rook can participate into the attack. And now we have this move. He just played bishop back here, and after this queen h4, try to protect this pawn. We have this one, try to eliminate the defender in order to capture the central pawn. So bishop here takes, and knight h4. Try to block the things on king side actually, or to play something like e5. This is the idea. Try to play e5 and try to exchange the queens. This could be the idea. So rook here, rook on d1. After e5, I didn't add it, this one. We can play bishop to g5, and we are overprotecting this one. So he has real problems right now, and white is winning. I'm going to add it on comments. And now after this he just played knight a5. Again we can see that he's going to eliminate the exchange, this strong bishop. Very nice move. And after that he dropped it back. Now we have a prophylactic move because black's plan is something like that, and after that to capture the pawn. For that reason play rook to d2, takes, and here there. As you can see, he's keeping free this rook because he would like to play rook to h3. But he didn't just play a prophylactic move, a defensive move only to protect this pawn on g4. He had another very aggressive idea in mind, and we're going to see what is this. After this move he just played rook here, he played that one, takes, and now rook to g5. He would like to sacrifice the rook, and after this to take with the queen, and he's going to have two fantastic, very active pieces in order to deliver a checkmate on h7. This is the idea, white's idea, and he played e5. Black played this move. We have d5. Of course, it's very important to close the center when you are attacking, and after that he played knight e4. Now white is winning, because after this move it's white's turn, and white has a fantastic move, really brilliant move. I'm showing you this game for this one. You are welcome to pause the video and try to think, what are you going to do with white pieces? And in such situations you need to open up lines, and here white just captures the knight with the queen. It looks amazing, because after this he can give this check, he can go in the corner and he can give another check, he can block it with a bishop, and this is the final checkmate, the back rank checkmate with the rooks. Let's move forward to see something else right now. Here we are, and another game, another move that he can do. He can play the bishop on f5, he can play g6, or he can just develop the bishop on g4. Here we can play h3, kick this bishop away. He has to decide right now. He can play there, for example, some variation. It didn't happen during the game, but you can play there, knight to e5 in a central square, and after this you can play bishop this, attacking on b7. He has to play c6, and after that h4. Now you are threatening h5. What he's going to do? After this you can take, queen here, for example, attacking this pawn on g6, and your next moves is like something like bishop there or bishop here. You can castle in queen side, start building the attack with this pawn forward on g5, or rook here, or rook on e1. You have a lot of good and nice sweet moves here. So after h3, another idea is to capture there, and after that it's not like the first trap that we just seen. Black cannot really capture on d4 because we just exchange here the knight with the bishop, so this pawn on b7 is hanging, and you can just capture this one. You're threatening checkmate, you're threatening the rook, you're threatening a lot of pieces. For that reason, black cannot capture on d4, he has to play c6, and you have time to defend your pawn. So after this you can play bishop to d3, there the game continued, short castling. You can do short castling on long castling, you can decide by your own, but in any case, let's see this game actually. After this, the idea is to double the rooks and create an attack on the king side. He played castling here and c5, another very common move, right? He's trying to do something in the center of the board, right? To strike in the center. And now we have knight here, takes, and e5, try to attack again the bishop, try to block this bishop, and now the funny part of that game started, because we have a check. What to do now? If you just take with the knight here, if you just take with the knight, we can take this pawn with the bishop. So the knight has to defend the e5 pawn, and he has to take with the bishop. Bishop from e7 takes there. Now we have an intermediate move, queen e4, very nice move, threatening checkmate on h7. He just played this one, and now we have a brilliant sacrifice. Again, rook takes f7. Wow. If the knight takes there, we can take with the queen. The knight is under attack. We are attacking 3 times, defending only 1, and after that we can deliver a checkmate. So he has to do something else. He cannot take with the knight. He just captured the bishop here, and the best move according to the computer is this one, because you can continue building like that or like this, and the knight has a lot of problems. But he just captured there. And if he just recapture with the rook, we can play this move. Similar happened during the game, and the rook is doomed actually. He's going to capture the rook. During the game he just played this one, and after this he just captured, bishop there, king here. He cannot really protect the rook, he cannot really protect anything. The knight is hanging as well here because the rook is pinned, so he played this, takes there, attack the knight here, attack the knight again. And after that he played another very nice move in order to increase his attacking possibilities. What to do? The rook is doing nothing on f1, so he played rook to e1 with the idea rook to e7 and try to create a checkmate here in the 7th rank. And black pieces cannot really help here, because the knight is hanging there, the rook didn't had time to play during the game, the rook from a8, so black has a lot of problems. And after this he just played that. He cannot capture this because we have a checkmate, or he cannot take with the queen, either with the queen, because we have this checkmate again. So he played there, and we have takes, and here white's position is winning actually. It's better combination to have rook and bishop comparing to rook and knight, because the bishop is faster, much stronger in this endgames. You can run with the king towards to the center of the board. This pawn is extremely weak. You have pawn majority 2 against 1, so you have all the advantages in the position, and white is managed to win after some moves. Let's see the next game, the last, not the last, before the last game. And here we just seen a lot of moves. We seen this one, we see this one, we saw this one, and now let's check about e6, another very popular move. And black say, okay, I had enough with this bishop, I'm not going to develop this bishop, I'm going to develop my king side, and then we will see, right? So here we can play bishop on d3, there, attacking the center of the board, it's nice. After this we can take, just capture here, and after that we have knight to e4. He went back, castling, and bishop e7, and black can say, okay, I have 2 pawns up, right? What bad thing, what is the bad scenario here going to happen? And we have something bad here to happen. After knight e5, he's attacking f7. Black is happy because he's just castling, he didn't see anything, because this bishop here stopping any advancement of this knight. He's going to capture this knight there, so this is a very nice defensive piece, and the next move is something like that, or this, to exchange some attacking pieces. But here we have a very nice attacking possibilities. He just captured f7, sacrificing a knight, because takes, he just captured a knight, and now we have this very nice check. The king went back, and suddenly you can see here that white have the stronger arm in the king side. He can bring the rook there, and what these pieces are doing in the other side of the board, they are snobbering, they are doing nothing at all, they are sleeping there. So after this check he went back, and now we have the only move that wins a lot. In order to create some threat, we cannot do it only with the queen, we need the helper, and this knight is the helper, and he played the best move. The best move is knight to d6, controlling a lot of squares. He's threatening some checks there. The knight is open up this line, and after this he just captured with the queen. We have another check and another check, and he gives these checks in order to improve the position of the queen. This is the idea, and now we have bishop to g6. Very, very nice. If black did nothing here, he just developed the knight, then we have checkmate in one move. If he just play another move, bishop to d8, with the idea after that check to run away and go towards to the queen side, he don't have time, because we have this epaulette mate with the queen. Queen won here. This pieces has negative value. Let's go back, and during the game, after this he just give up the bishop, and after this he just played, if he just give this, if he just do develop the pieces like this, we can give this check, and after queen to h5 he's going to deliver this checkmate on h7. But during the game he was a little confused, he just played that one, blathering checkmate in one move. Not so difficult, it can happen to anyone actually. When you are pressing something, it can crack, and black cracked here, white won by checkmate. And let's try to see, let's see now the final game I collected for you. We are here, and after the move c6 you can develop the bishop, and here we are setting a trap already. The position is a little difficult, because a little different, because we included the moves bishop to c4 and c6. For example, after that move bishop g4, white is winning with a very typical combination. Do you know that? Yep, knight to e5, and if you just capture the queen, we can deliver this beautiful checkmate. Or if you just go back on h5, what are you going to do now? Eliminate the defender, and after that we have the same black pawn checkmate, attacking the king, and he cannot do anything at all. So he has to be careful. During the games he just played this one. We have knight e5, e6, we are threatening f7, so he went there, we have castling, and after that again we have a similar idea, rook takes here, rook take here, another very typical attacking idea. After this he just captured there, he went here, capturing the rook, and after this tried to block the position. Actually he played another check, and now another check, the knight is escaped, and after this black seen enough and he resigns. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you soon. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Here it's time for action. This is the initial page of my website, and here you can click Give me access to get access to free lessons. You can read this page, and if you scroll down, here you can add your name and your email. After that, you're going to take a free lesson how to avoid chess blunders. So, time for action is now, and you're very welcome to join my mail list.